Hey guys, what's up? I'm Rohit Khurana, host of Intellect. Just in this video, we are going to compare the Redmi 2 with Redmi 3 and Redmi Note 3. If you are confused which one to pick up, this video will help you immensely. Let's get started. Before we start the video, we have the Redmi 2 Prime variant which comes with 2 gigs of RAM and not 1 gigs of RAM. I'll start with the design of the phone, and the Redmi 2 is vastly different from the other two phones. The Redmi 3 and the Redmi Note 3 both are metal unibody designs, while the Redmi 2 or the Redmi 2 Prime comes with a plastic design with removable back and looks much different from the other two phones. The Redmi 3 and Note 3 feel much more premium and much more upmarket when it comes to touch feel because they are made up of metal. Second major difference among these three phones is the display size. The Redmi 2 being the smallest at 4.7 inch, while the Redmi 3 is at 5 inch, and the Redmi Note 3 being a Note device is largest at 5.5 inch. The display resolution is also 720p high definition on Redmi 2 and Redmi 3, whereas the Redmi Note 3 comes with a superior resolution of 1080p. Also, one more thing worth noting is that Redmi Note 3 comes with a sunlight display technology, which makes the outdoor visibility of this phone better compared to the other two. Next difference is in the SIM card support. While the Redmi 2 came with dual SIM support with a different SD card or a discrete SD card for expanding the memory, the Redmi 3 and Redmi Note 3 both come with a hybrid SIM card slot. So you can either expand the memory or have a second SIM. Whereas you have more choices with the Redmi 2 Prime where you can use the expandable memory as well as dual SIM at the same time. So if dual SIM and expandable memory are your concerns, Redmi 2 Prime is still a better choice. Next up, specs and performance, and here they differentiate from each other vastly. There is a Snapdragon 410 1.2 GHz quad-core chipset with 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB internal memory on Redmi 2 Prime, whereas the Redmi 3 comes with a Snapdragon 616 octa-core chipset with 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB internal memory. The Redmi Note 3 being the most powerful comes with Snapdragon 650 chipset with 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB internal memory on the base variant. You can compare the performance based on the Antutu numbers. The Antutu for Redmi 2 Prime is 23,000, for Redmi 3 is 33,000, and for Redmi Note 3 is whopping 77,000. Which clearly means that if you are buying a phone for gaming, Redmi Note 3 is the best choice. Talking of cameras, there is an 8 megapixel camera on the rear on Redmi 2 Prime, a 13 megapixel on Redmi 3, and a 16 megapixel on the Redmi Note 3. You get better quality pictures with the Redmi Note 3 compared to the Redmi 3 compared to the Redmi 2 Prime. The front facing cameras here are also different. There is a 2 megapixel camera on the Redmi 2 Prime, whereas the Redmi 3 and Redmi Note 3 both get a 5 megapixel front facing camera. However, the camera found on the Redmi Note 3 is superior compared to the Redmi 3 because it comes with a wider aperture, hence takes in more light and gives you better quality pictures compared to the Redmi 3. There is also one more important feature missing on the Redmi 2 Prime, found on the Redmi 3 and Redmi Note 3 both, is the infrared blaster. With the infrared blaster, you can use your phone like a remote control for television, home theater system, air conditioner, and other devices which are controlled by a remote. All three phones support USB OTG, so it is a good thing. Next major differentiator is the battery capacity. There is a 2200 mAh battery, which is a moderate capacity battery on the Redmi 2. But on Redmi 3, you get a 4100 mAh battery, which is the largest among these three phones. Close enough, the Redmi Note 3 comes with a 4000 mAh battery. If you are looking for the longest battery life, go with the Redmi 3 because it does not have too powerful processor, but it has twice the battery that you would find on Redmi 2 Prime. It gives you easily 2 full days of usage if you are a moderate user and more than 1 day of usage if you are a very heavy user. For light users, it may even go beyond 2 days of usage. But one downside with the Redmi 3 and Redmi Note 3 is that they do not come with removable battery because they are metal unibody structures, whereas the Redmi 2 Prime comes with a user replaceable or user removable battery. Talking of software experience, they all run MIUI 7, so the end user experience is almost similar, barring the fact that there is still KitKat running on the Redmi 2 Prime that we have, whereas the other two phones come with Lollipop update. Next difference is the price. The Redmi 2 Prime is priced around $105 or 7,000 rupees when we make this video. The Redmi 3 has been launched at $110 to $115 or 7,500 rupees. whereas the Redmi Note 3 is priced at a higher price of 9,999 or approximately 150 US dollars. At this price difference, if you are looking for the absolute value for money, I would suggest you go for Redmi 3. But if you are looking for something that gives you best bang for the buck and a high performance phone, the Redmi Note 3 is the obvious choice. If I have to pick one among these three, Redmi Note 3 is my choice. I'm leaving Best Buy links to all these phones in the description section below. You can pick up either one that you like. All three phones are great phones, but my top two picks are Redmi Note 3 followed by Redmi 3. What are your thoughts and suggestions? Do let us know in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this comparison and it helped you make up your mind. Subscribe for more such videos by pressing the red subscribe button. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.